Today at the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development to deliberate on measures to be used in reopening. Cabinet Secretaries Mutahi Kagwe, George Magoha and Fred Matiang'i, together with the religious leaders, said they have agreed on a number of issues and will be submitting the report to the President today for further deliberations. The President is expected to address the nation tomorrow, and the content of today's discussion will likely form part of his speech. So we're crossing over to the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, where our reporter Eli Lugova is on standby so that he can update us more. Eli, good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon, Linda. As you said, we are coming to you live from KICD here in Ngara, and a number of government officials, including Cabinet Secretaries for Education, that is Professor George Magoha, the Cabinet Secretary for Interior, that is Dr. Fred Matiang'i, and of course Health CS Mutahi Kagwe, together with the church leaders from different religions, have been having a meeting here since 8 in the morning to deliberate on issues concerning the opening of churches and on how, of course, the protocols that will be used to observe, some of the measures that have been put in place by the Ministry of Health to ensure that the spread of coronavirus is contained even as the churches are reopened or religious activities are reopened. Remember, these activities were closed when the coronavirus, of course, the first case of coronavirus was announced in Kenya, and the government started coming up with measures, to ensure that they contain the spread of coronavirus. So one of the measures that they put in place was shutting down all religious activities. I know we've been having calls from different religious leaders calling upon the government to just consider reopening religious activities in the country. And remember, this meeting comes after the last week's meeting that the two parties had, that is the government and the church leaders had last week, and today, of course, they've had a meeting again. And just maybe to get to listen to what they said, maybe let us just get to and listen to what they had to say after the meeting.
Thank you very much, CS. We want to say, first of all, thank you to the government for reaching out to the religious community in consultation with regard to the pandemic and where it is and how it affects both churches and schools. We have had a very good consultation this morning. We have had presentations from professionals who have been working behind the scenes, monitoring how this whole thing is going. We have been given data on the same. And we, as the religious community, have also presented our position in terms of what we see from a spiritual perspective. And together, we have come up with what we believe would be a reasonable way forward, which will be presented to the President and his team, and hopefully a decision will be made that can help us move forward. The reality is, has been told to us, is that this pandemic is becoming endemic, and we have to find a way as Kenyans on how to live with it. And the reality that is coming to us is that every one of us must take responsibility. Bwana Mutahi Kagwe, the CS for Health, made it clear to us that unless we take responsibility, we may be here for a long time and in a bad way. And so we are taking care of that as a religious community and helping and working together with government to find a way forward that would be helpful to all of us.
Our very sincere gratitude to our religious leaders in the country. We've had a very consultative, excellent way of dealing with these issues. His Excellency the President has required of us that constantly, as we take decisions even on difficult policy matters, such as we are now dealing with in the wake of this COVID crisis, we engage and remain consultative, as we have done this morning. Secondly, I would like to sincerely thank some of our institutions of higher learning. The Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology School of Medicine, the University of Nairobi School of Medicine, the team from Kemri, and most importantly, our security sector teams that sit at the command center, led by General Matili. This morning, we've had occasion to listen to these people who have data, who have projections, who have done modeling on how this is going and where it is headed. As Bishop Oginde has said, we have taken the advice and taken the notes, and we have now put together a report which we will submit this afternoon to His Excellency the President and the National Security Council.
Well, Linda, those are some of the sentiments that we've heard from the leaders here, led by Dr. Fred Matiang'i, the Interior CS, they have been having a meeting here, of course, to deliberate on those issues. And as he said, the report, the recommendations that have already been noted in that report, of course, as he said, it will be presented to the President this afternoon. And of course, we'll be expecting the President to include some of those recommendations. And of course, it's a story that we are following up on and will be bringing you up to date in our subsequent bulletins. So from here in KICD, Linda, I take it back to you.
Thank you so much, Eli Lugova, for that.